Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, Fabulites. I've got questions for you. What opens with a fight? What closes with a fight? If you guessed the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 10, episode 6, episode 6, all aboard the Shady Express. You're correct. I'm Angela and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. Let us proceed. So we're in San Francisco. We picking up right where we left off. We got Nene and Portia. F you, no F you. You shouldn't be here. No, you shouldn't be here. I started this. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have no place to be. Candy deserves better. You hurt Candy. And then we see Sheree and Portia at the table, and everybody else gets up and leaves with Nene. Nene leaves. Kenya, Candy, Marlo, Nene, and probably somebody else on the elevator. The door, Cynthia, the door is closed. As the door to the elevator is closing, Nene, the door is closed! The door is closed! The door is closed! And then finally the elevator door closes. I think that might have been my favorite moment. We see Portia crying. And there's going to be some back and forth between Portia and Sheree and then the other women. So I'm taking notes as the show goes. So this is like more of a highlight reel. I'm not rewatching and taking notes, so I can't pause. We got to go forward. So we got Portia crying. She feels bad because the whole table left with Nene. And why do these women want to break her down? Why me, says Portia. And then Candy is like, I'm glad. She glad that somebody else has drama with Portia beside her. It's something I want to say about that, but other people have said it, so I'm just going to leave it alone because I think they've said it better than I can. But it's something that I can't quite articulate about the whole Candy thing. But one impression that I have of Candy is that she's somebody who can hold a grudge and who will hold a grudge. I can be friendly and cordial, but she ain't one to just forgive quickly and, just move on. So I feel like, yeah. Marlo, especially if you don't feel like somebody has apologized. Like if somebody, that's like just like on the other show. If somebody says, I'm sorry, but then they're doing the same thing. Or they're saying they're sorry, but they're not acting like they're sorry. Or I don't know. It's just something about that whole Portia Candy thing that I can't quite put my finger on. And then Marlo is like, well, we need, one of us to sit with her, as in Portia, and say that we love her as a little sister. And Nene is like, she is almost 20. She ain't no 21. Little sister, BS. And then we cut to Portia, and she's like, as a little sister. I thought that was kind of, I don't know, funny, but it was editing. It was brilliantly edited to make a certain type of point. Then Candy's advice to Portia is, we weren't getting along. Candy gives Portia some advice. We weren't getting along. And I said some stuff. Candy is like, if Portia would just say that, we weren't getting along. And I said some stuff on air and that's what I meant. And I meant it at the time. Then just move on from there. And I feel like poor Candy could have been giving that same advice to Nene. We weren't getting along. I was watching the show. This is how I felt. And that's why I said what I said on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on Bravo TV. That's like a commercial, right? And I watched it last night though with Tiffany Haddish and Tiffany Haddish and the model Cynthia. And this is my second time seeing Tiffany Haddish in an interview. This is off, but I'm enjoying her. I had heard her on Comedy Satellite for years before, because when Girls Trip came out, I'm like, that's the woman I've heard on Satellite, but I can't really remember being a fan or not, but her name was familiar. But I'm kind of enjoying seeing her do her little interviews. I'm liking her. So anyway, we got that. And then we have Kenya. Portia has had more support from these women than anyone. Like, you know, and Cynthia is like, how is Portia getting so much and giving so little? And it does seem, I mean, it's kind of like I could kind of almost see that thing is, it seems like people are predisposed almost to like Portia and be on Portia's side. I don't know if it's because she's attractive. I don't know if it's because of her personality. Some people, it's just the luck of the draw like that. That's just how their life is. Whereas some people, maybe like Kenya, feels like she started off with her mama not wanting her. So it's like she feels like people are predisposed to not want her, to reject her. And so, you know, she's probably felt that feeling a lot during her life. But anyway, Portia says to Sheree, Nene has dragged more folks than anyone. And that's true. Nene, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but I know that Nene has dogged some people out. And Nene continues to dog people out. I mean, I think some of the things that she says are funny to watch on TV, but I don't particularly care personally. She doesn't seem like the kind of person that I would want to spend time with or that I would feel comfortable relating with, because it seemed like on one thing she says one thing, but she's like always making a joke and dogging and criticizing. She just seemed mean to me. Or like I said before, she seems like a bitch. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know her, but that's just how she seems. And then we see Candy, and she's in the room. I don't know who she's in the room with, but Candy is in the room. And she's like, nothing is going to change with how I look at you, Portia. We'll never be friends. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that when Candy says that at that moment, I believe that she really means that. She's not trying to be friends with her. She might be cordial, friendly, but that don't mean we friends. Okay. Because she went out of her way. She was being friends to Portia, and she feels like she was, you know, betrayed. So for what? Okay, so then we have Portia on the phone with her mom, and she's explaining what happened. I might have missed that whole scene. Was it something important that happened in that scene that I didn't write down? Because I'm on to the next scene. Then we have Marlo in that gold skirt. Was it pleated? Yes. I enjoy Marlo's sense of style and her presentation, I guess. I mean, because it's been a couple of things where I'm like, oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. I'm not really like, you know, obviously a fashionista, but I like somebody who has some personality and some, yeah. Okay, so then we see the ladies, they're getting on a bus, they're going on a tour of the city. Then we see Nene says that she's Cardi being Portia, because when they got on the bus, if I see you and I don't speak, it means I don't F with you. If I see you and I don't speak, it means I don't F with you. I'm a boss, you a worker. That's what we gotta do. I don't know how that song go. Red bottoms, these expensive. I don't work because I don't dance because I make money moves. You know what I never understood about that song? She says she don't dance. It's something she's saying. I'm like, that don't really make sense to me. I can't even remember it now. But I'm like, I mean, I guess you're not dancing technically on the pole, but you're dancing on the song, and that's how you're making your money. But I don't know. Anyway, let me just shut up and keep it focused. So then we see Kenya, and she's getting the video back for her grandmama's service, and she has to leave the trip early, we find out. And it's kind of like, oh my gosh, is Portia crying? And Portia is crying. She's feeling a little tender because apparently she has lost her uncle. That's what she says. And she just wishes that the women, this group of people, could push through and be there for one another as human beings and not, you know, reach across the bull to be there for one another. And I was like, oh, they all got on glasses, almost all. But then I realized that they didn't all have on glasses. But anyway, Cynthia checks on Portia. And I saw that only Portia, Cynthia, and Marlo have on glasses. But all three of those ladies were wearing those glasses so powerfully that it just transferred over to everybody else. Cynthia, somebody, and Nene have been through the same and have had, Cynthia's like, you know, me and Nene have been through the same thing. That's what she's saying to Portia. You know, Nene dogged me out and we had to move on, and they show footage and everything. And Cynthia, yeah, I don't know if she feels like she's deeply Nene's friend or if they healed some things off camera that we haven't seen, or if Cynthia's like, this is a job and I can be friendly enough, you know, while we're, you know, she ain't tripping. And so Cynthia is coaching Portia on Nene, and something about good girl Cynthia. I'm really good girl Cynthia. Maybe I was saying good. Yeah, go on and help the child out like a human being. Okay, so then we have the group divides into two. One group goes to Chinatown, and I guess everybody knows, most people know it, but that Tokyo is not in China, Miss Portia. But anyway, so it's Sheree, Portia, and Marlo in Chinatown or Tokyo Town, I guess, depending on whether you want, And then we have at Fisherman's Wharf, we have Cynthia, Nene, Candy, and Kenya. And Nene is like talking about how Sheree is with a convict and it's so confusing to her. But if Sheree likes it, she loves it. But it's kind of like she says it with her. She says one thing with her words, but her actions and her expressions say something else. Like, I guess she's critical of it and she feels like it's some bull. But anyway, so she's not really happy for Sheree. Before the break, before they broke into groups, there was some joking because Cynthia apparently had said that she was going to go to with the Chinatown group, but she's saying since she got an opportunity to spend some time with Portia, that she really wants to go to Fisherman's Wharf, so that's where she's going. And I think she likes that group of women anyway more. Nene and Kenya, those are her girls. Why is she gonna go with the other group? Her girl, Okay, so then Candy, did he? Oh, so Nene is like, well, Sheree's man, blah 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 blah. He's a con man, and Candy is like, well, did he con you? And Nene is like, no, I'm too smart for that. Okay, so then we have Sheree and Marlo and Portia, and they're deciding over at Chinatown that they want to do something fun for Kenya, and they kind of, figure it out. They want to do it fun for Kenya because she's going through a rough time, and we're going to have a wedding since none of us was invited to the wedding. We'll be at the wedding, and it'll be fun, and Marlo is so messy. And we didn't know if it was going to be a good idea or a bad idea. Portia is like, it's a double-edged sword. She could love it or hate it. And then Marlo calls Nene, and they decide to surprise Cynthia and Kenya. So they're not going to let Cynthia in on what's going on, but basically everybody else is going to be in on what's going on. Then at Chinatown, the group is getting stuff together for the fake wedding. Marlo had said that they're going to have a fake groom. Kenya's used to that. Shade. And then Cynthia and Kenya are together, and then they're down. So Cynthia and Kenya are together at the hotel. They kicking it. I guess production told them, y'all two go in the room right there, and everybody else is downstairs. And they're telling Candy about the wedding and Candy is like, well, where's the husband? And then the lady say, oh, he's coming. And Candy is like, what? He's coming? She like thinks they're serious. Like he's all excited to meet him. And then she finds out that he's we find out at the same time that he's a paper cutout, although we already knew it from the previews. But it was like, girl. And I was like, I hope that Kenya takes this in, just fun and, TV fun, and just keeps it moving and just enjoys it for what it is. Okay, so now they're specializing in weird, questionable party ideas. Portia has recruited guests. They have fake dogs. They got a veil. Get a veil. Bouquet. They got a veil, a bouquet. Candy is singing, and Kenya is smiling, and Cynthia is smiling too. So the people who were surprised, it was a pleasant enough surprise. Then Nene is the officiant, and I'm glad that Kenya is laughing, and Portia is holding flat hubby, and Portia drops hubby, and then Candy is like, Portia had one job. And Portia pulls Candy aside to apologize again. And Candy is like, I want to have fun with the group. And I want to leave it at that. And Portia is like, okay, I'm good with that. But for whatever reason, I think that Candy kind of likes Portia. But anyway, so we're leaving the hotel, and that's it. So we're leaving the hotel and we're riding to Napa, like the wine area. And then Sheree is like, me and these girls are always able to bond over wine. And then they got Flat Hubby on the bus. He's dressed in a sweatshirt. So Kenya, it looked like she went on along with the thing. So that's cute. And we see Portia, and she's like, Kenya seems... refreshed. Portia is making commentary. She like, Kenya seemed refreshed. I think that flat Mark might have put it down last night. That was funny, Portia. Then we see Portia sitting with Candy and Kenya after the potty trip. Oh, Portia gets on the train. She goes to the restroom. When she gets back, the only place for her to sit is across from Candy and Kenya. I guess those are her least favorite people. But I don't know who her most favorite people are. But anyway, Portia is like, gonna be long trip. Oh, it's gonna be a long trip. Portia's like, it's gonna be a long trip. That's not how she sounds, but that's how she sounds when Forrest Rocks imitates her, and she's so funny when she imitates her. But it's gonna be a long trip. And then Kenya is like, well, how long have you been doing the vegan thing? Because it comes up and they kind of chit chat, and then Kenya is telling them about her husband. They have it edited so weird. She's like, and my husband, he thinks he thinks that, he likes me curvy, but he likes when I'm thinner better because I'm more toned. And, he doesn't like me to wear a lot of makeup. He's always asking me to take makeup off, but sometimes I like to put on makeup and like she's like really has a lot to say about her husband. He sounded a little controlling, but anyway, because I figure at my age and stage, I guess I have never dealt with anyone who I felt like was trying to change me into somebody else. I felt like if they were dealing with me, it was because they kind of liked who I was and how I was rolling. So she seemed a little on the older side for him to be, kind of having so much commentary about how she moving the world. But that's just me. And then we see Sheree and Nene and Marlo and Cynthia, and they're talking about Sheree's incarcerated boo thing. And then Nene is like, is he going to come out of jail tricking like before he went in? I mean, tricking the stocks. And Sheree is like, oh, hold on. Let us get it correct. Let's get it straight here. It was not stocks that he was tricking. It was securities fraud and wire fraud. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. Okay, so I like Candy's headband. That was cute. Then we see Candy. Candy is like, Cynthia is with Portia. Got to be on the train with her for a whole hour. If I ignored her, it would have just made me more uncomfortable. So they like call Candy over. So then it's just like Portia and Kenya together. So it's like the whole big group, and they're like, how you doing with Candy? And Portia's like, hey, it's an hour. I'm not gonna be weird about it. Plus, I think she still likes Portia. And then Kenya gushes to Portia about Mark Daly. Mark Daly. Oh, Mark, my husband. My hubby. I like to say my husband, man. My husband, man. And Portia is explaining how she wants to take accountability. And Kenya is like, what you had with Nene and with Candy was great. Basically kind of expressing this idea that like people like you and they want to help you. And, you got to help yourself. Because you already got, the magic touch, you're charismatic or whatever, and people naturally like you. Unlike me, Kenya, I got to fight for people to try to like me, Hey, Thomas. But anyway, then the women arrive at the wine place, and Kenya is rearranging the women to put the single women in the front. I missed what that was about, but it's Marlo, Portia, and Cynthia in the front. And then Portia successfully, one hit a quitter. Opens the wine bottle. What's a one-hit quitter? But anyway, then their host is very flirty, and he's married, but he has no ring on his hand, so there's some frustration, not real frustration about this. And then they're wine making, and Nene is like, when this is over, are you gonna suck our toes? And Candy rolls her eyes, and Portia's like, I won't be drinking wine if it's made with toe jam or foot juice or something. She says that was funny to me, but she was drinking the wine, I noticed. Okay, so then Kenya is leaving. She says that the trip helped her with her grief. Years ago she felt that they were all against her, and now she feels that they're all for her. Oh, that was like a sweet moment. And then no sooner had she left and said that, than they in there drinking wine. And Candy is like, when we were in New York City, Todd, being messy. Todd, don't be messy. Suggested that they go by Mark Daly's restaurant, and Candy is like, I am not going in. She's not trying to create no drama. And then Cynthia is like, you know she gets, Kenya gets scrutinized the most. Like, why are y'all going in about, and they're like, well, if she was your friend, you would have been at the wedding. And I kind of feel like Cynthia, like, everybody has their process, everybody has their way. You don't know what people are dealing with and how they're negotiating it. Just because you think that you would negotiate it this way and somebody else negotiate, you don't know what y'all need to chill. If Cynthia is cool with it and cool with their relationship, then why are you so invested? Marlo is like, I just want Cynthia to be real or something she's saying. And I'm kind of like, if Cynthia like it, I love it. Why am I? But anyway, so they like are really like, Marlo is trying to call BS on Cynthia. And then Marlo is like, well, let's play a game. Who believes that Kenya is really married? Like, in love married? And then Cynthia leaves. And Marlo is like, why are you running out of the room? And Cynthia is like, I am not running out of the room. I am walking out of the room because I'm not going to participate in this above. And then Portia is like, well, how are they best friends? And I don't know your husband. And I just kind of feel like the child said, and I already said it, Kenya had her process, Cynthia comfortable with the process, boom. That's the end of the story. And then Nene goes into where Cynthia is, and she's like, you can't tell girls what to do. And Cynthia's like, I'm not gonna let them make fun of her in front of me. That's why she ain't telling them what to do. She just left. And she's like, I'm going to respect her process, like Kenya's process. And she's like, I cannot force Kenya to do something. I would have loved to have been at Kenya's wedding. And Marlo is like, yeah, when you walked away, I thought that you might be hurt. And it probably is hurtful. But I mean, I guess when you're on a reality show, you got to do some stuff for drama. So maybe now baby girl Cynthia is like, well, this could be my drama, being mad at Kenya for not inviting me to the wedding. But I feel like weddings are very intimate things. When I found out that her daddy wasn't at the wedding, and I mean, I don't know how close or not close she is to her daddy, but y'all, on the whole hierarchy of people, I would, if her daddy wasn't there and I'm her friend, I would, or friendly. And then it was kind of like, I never remember Cynthia and Kenya saying we're best friends. I just thought they said at one point, Kenya had said we're like BFFs, or she's one of my BFFs. That don't mean Anyway, so that was the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, enjoying this beautiful day today. We're still working on 200 subscribers. So if you are a new subscriber, I really, really appreciate you. If you are an old subscriber, I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone in between. Even if you are not yet a subscriber, I really, really appreciate you. But I want to try to pressure you to go on and subscribe. Go on. Share the video. I think I said all of the other stuff. But be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous.